Welcome back to Small Caps. My name is Kerry Stevenson, and boy, have we got some excitement out of Western Australia today for you. I'm bringing you Andrew Monkton. He's the Managing Director of Kin Mining, ASX code, real simple, KIN. Now, Andrew, great to see you, and I know you're bursting at the seams because today you've had an announcement out about Mount Flora.
Yes, Kerry, bursting at the seams, you're right. We've been exploring one of our satellite projects, Mount Flora, delivered some really fantastic for this area results this morning. So, the standout result was 22 metres at nearly 9 grams per tonne in air core drilling. So these are some of the best air core results that I've seen from Kin and from a bunch of the explorers in our part of the world over the last couple of years. So really exciting new discovery, new area, early stage exploration at this stage. So really looking forward to getting back there and receiving the remainder of the results firstly, and then getting back there and doing some follow-up drilling.
Andrew, you've been focused a lot on the Cardinia project for a while now. Was Mount Flora always part of the strategy moving forward? In other words, did you always see this as, obviously these are spectacular results, it is early, but did you have a feeling that Mount Flora, because it hasn't been explored for a while, it's underexplored, I believe, nothing much has been done around there. Why there? What was the strategy behind it? Okay,
so as you say, Kerry, Cardinia has been the focus for us for the last 3 or 4 years. We're sitting on 1.23 million ounces there at Cardinia, but satellites always, particularly ones with high grade, like it appears we have at Mount Flora, satellites always play a complementary part to a base load feed that you might get from, say, Cardinia. And so these satellites really enhance the grade and give you flexibility around development timetables and when you produce the gold and what your costs are. So satellites are always very valuable to producers and developers because they complement your baseload discovery and your baseload development.
If I could go back to Mount Flora, it's an emerging satellite discovery, as you've just said, but it's barely had any work done on it since for quite some time. So, again, was it when you started with Kin, was it always on the radar that you were going to put some air core drilling into this, or has this been a more recent strategy to look at Mount Flora?
Okay, so Mount Flora was one of the original IPO assets that Kin floated on the stock exchange 8 years ago on.
Right.
And there have been sporadic efforts by Kin with soil geochemistry and with some rock chip sampling, and we always knew that there was reasonable mineralisation in the district. But it's only really recently that we've decided to upgrade the quality of the exploration that we've done there to the air core and a systematic approach, and because that's, in our view, the best way to discover what's there. And so that systematic approach, and that involves 10,000 metres of air core as the first pass, so it's not an insubstantial exploration effort. That's yielded is your best avenue, in our experience, to yield good quality results like this. But Mount Flora is only one of 4 satellite projects that we have in the eastern side of Cardinia. This is the first one that we've put a substantial drilling program together on, and there are 3 others that are in the pipeline to do a similar block of work as we've just done at Mount Flora, at our Randwick and our Murrin project. So they're all in a similar area. But the question now is, do we go and do some more grassroots work on the other 3 satellites, or do we put more effort into Mount Flora? And I think the quality of the results that we've seen from Mount Flora tell us, no, the best bang for the buck here will be putting some more work into Mount Flora in the short term, and see what we've got there in preference to putting additional works into some of the other satellites. So there's always a strategy of having a pipeline of projects at different levels or different stages of development, some drilled out, some partially drilled, some only with very grassroots soil geochemistry as an example. So it's all part of a bigger program over a number of years, but the quality of the results that we've got out of Mount Flora that we announced this morning tell us that we need to get back there pretty quickly, and it's gone up the priority list, certainly in the minds of the exploration team.
Has it surprised you to the upside, Andrew? Because I know that when we spoke briefly off camera, you're pretty excited about these. Has it surprised you, the sort of grade that you found with this, as you call it, first pass air core drilling?
Yeah, these are some of the best air core results I've seen in, Kerry, I've been in the game for 30-something years now, so and these are some of the best air core results that I've seen. 22 metres at 9, you don't get very often in air core. So the challenge for us now is to back that up. We have about 400 metres of strike length on this particular discovery, and there's some more work to do to the north and to the south to try and extend the strike length of that. And obviously the next phase of work will be to drill it deeper than the 30 or 40 metres that we've been able to drill it with this first phase of work.
Which is exactly what I was going to ask you. What sort of depth were you at that time? Because what you've got to kind of look at is, what does this look like and how big could this potential discovery be? So what are the next steps? Because you've just said you're going to focus, the decision has come to focus on Mount Flora to see what other gifts it will give, the gift that keeps on giving, we hope. How deep are you going to go with this next set of drilling? What's the next steps with Mount Flora?
Okay, so the drilling that we've been able to do that on this discovery goes down about 40 metres vertical. The next phase of work has two elements, and down to 40 metres, we've hit this mineralisation on 3 lines of drilling that are 200 metres apart. So it covers about between 400 and 600 metres of strike length so far. So there's 2 phases of work. The first phase will to see, with similar depth drilling air core down to 40 metres, whether we've got 800 metres or a kilometre or longer.
Right.
And in parallel, we'll bring the RC rig over here and we'll drill where we already know the mineralisation is down to 40 metres. We'll drill that down to about 100 or 125 metres to see how extensive the mineralisation is below the oxidation zone, but below that 40 metre zone.
It's all pretty exciting. Now, you did a capital raising, so you're very well funded for this continuous drilling. Is that correct?
Yeah, so 31 March, we had $12.9 million in the bank.
Yep.
And so no need for funding capital unless fingers crossed, we make a fabulous discovery of multiple millions of ounces, and then money will be an issue that we'll need to address. But if you make a discovery of multiple millions of ounces, money tends to be for exploration tends to be the least of your issues.
It's pretty exciting, Andrew, just sitting back quietly here thinking this actually could be pretty exciting. I want to know, why do you think no one else managed to find this before you?
They're not easy to find, Kerry. That's the bottom line. And while I don't want to be disparaging of the people who've come before, because I'm sure are technically very strong, you do need to have a systematic approach to this. And I don't think previously the companies that did some work here had a systematic approach, nor had the technical expertise that we've been able to bring to bear on this. So, and remember, the last time that this was drilled was 1988, and right. I'm old enough to remember that the gold price is probably 300 Aussie dollars an ounce in 1988. So, the $2,300 gold price that we're currently enjoying makes a lot of difference.
It makes a massive amount of difference. Now, these ones we've been talking about this morning, they're all on the eastern side of Cardinia. Is there any focus on the western side of Cardinia, or given what Mount Flora has shown you to date, are you just going to focus on that eastern side?
We've done some work on one of the satellite projects, and we have 2 satellite projects on the western side of Cardinia. We had some good success at a prospect called Eagle Crow, which is just on the western side of the Cardinia block of ground. So that's going to be another focus of Kin, that Eagle Crow discovery, and it's probably only a month or 2 ahead of where we are with the Mount Flora discovery. So we'll probably do those 2 satellites in parallel. Currently, the RC rig is working at Cardinia, and it will go to Eagle Crow and do some initial holes before it goes over to Mount Flora in a couple of weeks' time. So, we'll be doing a number of things in parallel. As I said, we like the sort of the pipeline analogy, where you've got a number of projects being pushed in one end of the pipeline, and you get good discoveries coming out the other end. So, not all your eggs in the one basket.
Oh, I think that's very smart. Always. Do you need more rigs? Have you just got the one RC rig at the moment? Are you looking to get some more up there, given there's quite a lot of work going on at the moment?
So the WA resources industry, the exploration industry in particular, is booming, as I'm sure you're hearing. We've had 3 drill rigs at Cardinia for coming up to 6 months now. We've recently released our diamond rig and recently released our air core rig to other clients of the drilling companies. But we may be giving a couple of phone calls to a couple of drilling companies in the next day or 2 to say, oh, yes, well, we've got another block of work for you. When can you pencil us in for? So we'll just have to see how things are, but we'll be retaining the RC rig because that's doing a long-standing job for us right at the moment.
Well, Andrew, I've got to say, it's as you said before, these are spectacular results, and for air core drilling, some of the best that you've seen in your time in the industry. So I congratulate you on that. I want to finish up by saying there's a lot of investors that listen to our interviews. What would you say to those that are looking at Kin for the first time as to why you think now it's really time to sit up, because Kin is making not only discoveries, but it's also got, as you say, a systematic approach to moving forward?
Yeah, I think what Kin offers investors is a mature company. 1.23 million ounces already in resource. A development-ready project once we tick over 1.5 million ounces, and we'll be putting new resources out in the September quarter that will approach that kind of number, I believe. And then we have these exciting exploration discoveries. And Kerry, I think we've only just started that process. Okay. That exploration effort has been going for 12 months, but it does take time to work your way through a number of projects, and we have more than a dozen of these kind of things to assess over a substantial period of time. And Mount Flora is just one example of what you can find as we go back and revisit these exploration assets. So I think Kin has a very rosy future. We're mature, but we have some exploration sizzle associated with this as well.
Final question, Cardinia. Because we've been really focused on Mount Flora. Work at Cardinia is still going on. You're still doing work there, and that's kind of like that's the egg yolk to all the satellite discoveries around it. Can we just quickly explain to our investors where you're at with Cardinia at the moment, what your plans are?
Okay, so Cardinia, as I mentioned, 1.23 million ounces at Cardinia itself. We have about 5,000 assays in the assay laboratory currently from deeper drilling at Cardinia, looking for extensions to our
How many?
recent discovery.
How many?
About 5,000.
Oh my goodness me. Yep.
So, that's not unusual for us. So, we're on a turnaround of about 4 weeks on our assays at the moment. So not too bad. But back to your question, we're looking for extensions for our Cardinia Hill discovery, which we made last year, along that Cardinia Hill fault, which we think has multiple deposits along it. That will add to this 1.23 million ounces that we currently have. So, there's imminent assays being returned from the assay laboratory for some of the best looking exploration opportunities and discovery opportunities at Cardinia itself. Like I said, Mount Flora is one that we've just discovered through work that we did a month ago. The work that we've been doing at Cardinia has been ongoing for the last 6 months. So, there's a lot of investment and a lot of assays that are yet to hit the market on what I think are some very exciting projects at Cardinia, at least in the same vein as what we have discovered at Cardinia Hill, which is a high-grade, relatively narrow vein, but still a high-grade discovery. Most recent results were in the 5 to 15 gram range over 5 to 10 metres. So, there's lots of gold at Cardinia, and we're systematically assessing that with the RC rig.
Well, it's very exciting times. Plenty of news coming out of Kin Mining at the moment. I congratulate you on that systematic approach, because it's clearly starting to pay off very well for you, and I guess for all your shareholders as well. Andrew Monkton, thanks for joining us on Small Caps today.
Pleasure, Kerry. Always good to talk to you.